So yesterday in skills 1, we just had the rectangles and we had to cut them into pieces. Today is kind of similar, but there's a little bit extra for today. Answer choice A says divide the model to show fourths. So the first thing I have to do is put lines and divide up my model into 4 pieces. I'm going to cut it in half or draw a line to mark it in half. Then put those 2 pieces in half again. It doesn't stop just because we divided the model into fourths though. It also tells us to shade one part. So I'm going to take my pencil and one of my 4 parts, almost like I'm coloring it in.
Which page is it?
It says skills 2.
Okay.
So it should be right behind the page we did yesterday.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't see the top of your page.
This part here?
Yeah, because my top where it says how many people there are and where
Oh,
you can ask questions, it's blocking it.
well, don't worry about this. Just make sure you can see the question. If you can see the question, you're good.
Can you see the question?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Good.
All right. Now, once we shade this in, that means that we have a fraction. They want us to tell them what that fraction is. So, the top part of our fraction, the numerator, is how many parts are selected, or in our case, how many parts are shaded. How many parts did we shade in? Who can tell me? How many parts of that rectangle did we shade in?
1.
We shaded in 1. Messiah, do me a favor though. Can you make sure that you raise your hand first instead of just unmuting the mic and answering? That way everyone gets a chance. So we shaded 1 part, and our bottom part, the denominator, is how many parts did we cut that rectangle into? How many parts did I slice up or did I divide up that rectangle into? Who can tell me? We shaded 1 part, but how many parts did I make out of that rectangle? Haley?
4.
4. So our fraction is 1 out of 4, or 1/4.
Mr. Romero, I finished.
Okay. Now we have problem B. Divide the model to show sixth. How do I show sixths on this model? How many pieces do I need to divide it into? Haley, how many pieces do I need to divide it into?
5 lines.
Okay, I need 5 lines because I want 6 pieces. So first I'm going to divide it into thirds. And then I'm going to divide all of my thirds in half. That way I get 6 pieces. And then it asks us to shade 3 parts. So that's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I have to write the fraction for my model. How many parts of this model did we shade in? Alexa?
We shaded in 3 parts.
We shaded in 3 parts, so that's my numerator. My top number is 3. And what about the denominator, the bottom part? How many pieces did I divide that rectangle into? Bella? How many pieces did I divide that rectangle into, Bella? If the microphone's giving you trouble, you can also put the answer into the chat. We shaded in 3 parts? 6. Okay. So it's, yep. So it's 3 out of 6, or 3/6. Okay. Now if you notice,
6.
these questions here, they don't have letters anymore. It's not A and B. That's going by numbers. I want you to try some of these on your own, and then we're going to check them together. The ones that I want you to check on your own are number... I want you to try number 2 on your own. I want you to try number... Let's do 2... Oh, sorry. Let's do 1, 2... We'll do 1, 2, 3, and 5. Okay? So I don't want you to do all of it. I want you to try number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 5 on your own. Then, after a little bit, we'll check them all together, okay? I'm going to start by looking at problem number 1. It says, divide the model to show tenths. So I need to divide this model into 10 pieces. So I'm going to start by dividing it into fifths, then dividing those fifths in half, so I get 10 pieces. And if I shade in 7 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should have 7 parts shaded and 3 parts that are blank. My fraction would be 7 parts that I selected, that I shaded, out of 10 parts all together. Oh, we need to divide the model to show thirds. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some lines to break it into 3 pieces. And then it says to shade 3 parts. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to color in 1, 2, 3 parts. So for problem 2, the whole rectangle should be colored in. And our fraction should be 3 parts that were selected out of 3 parts in the rectangle.
I can't see it on yours.
Well, that's all my camera's showing right now, Nakai. If you can find my camera on there, you can click on the picture of the push pin, and that'll help keep it on your screen. Problem 3. Divide the model to show eighths. So first thing I'm going to do is split my rectangle up into 8 pieces. I'm going to start with a half, then cut those in half to get a fourth, and then cut those in half to get eighths. And it says to shade 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once I finish shading in my parts, 6 of them are shaded. I should have 2 pieces that are blank, that are empty. Who can tell me what should my fraction be? What fraction would match this model here? Messiah? What fraction would match this model, Messiah?
There's
sandwiches in there that's later. Just bring it to me tonight.
Okay. It should be 6. Wait, 8, 6. 8, 6.
What we should have is 6 eighths. So the 6 has to be on top because that's how many parts we shaded in. And 8 has to be on the bottom because that's how many parts there are on the rectangle. Okay, so 6 eighths or 6 parts out of 8. Remember, the denominator will always tell you how many parts there are altogether. Your numerator, the top number, just tells you how many parts you have or how many parts you're looking at. Okay, for the last one that I wanted you all to work on, problem 5. Divide the model to show halves. I'm going to draw one line in the middle, and it says shade 1 part. So I should have 1 part shaded, 1 part blank. Who can tell me what fraction matches this model? What would the fraction be? Jada? What fraction would this match, Jada?
1 out of 2.
1 out of 2, perfect. The 1 part that we shaded, and there are 2 parts of my rectangle. All right, very good job, guys.